The welfare of female inmates and suspects in police custody and police cells in this country. Right Honorable Speaker, most police cells countrywide, I think by the time they were built, did not think about that women would commit some mistakes. There were no provision for female suspects under detention. The police just improvised by turning police uniforms into cells for women. The same applies to most prisons in the country. Madam Right Honorable Speaker, the uniforms have no places for washrooms, and the suspects and inmates use the bucket system and have poor ventilation. The suspects are detained with juveniles, others with young children. They are congested and lack basic necessities. Right Honorable Speaker, it is reported that district police commanders only receive 600,000 per quarter for operations. This money is too little to cater for basic necessities, especially for the women. This money cannot help them buy soap for inmates, and the money cannot even facilitate them to buy fuel to go and rest some people. Madam Speaker, the risk of spread of contagious diseases like Rubella and now COVID-19. Right Honorable Speaker, I don't know whether the Minister of Internal Affairs is in this House to inform the people of Uganda when they are going to construct cells for female inmates and suspects, and the measures they will put in place to cater for the unique welfare of these inmates and also the officers who keep law and order in this country. The housing of police, Right Honorable Speaker, is very, very terrible. You find on some police stations 3 families sharing one input with children, with curtains, without a latrine nearby. So it is wanting. My prayer, Madam Right Honorable Speaker, is that this government makes it a priority to improve on the housing infrastructure of policemen and policewomen in Uganda. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker.
Some time back, we received a report here. I don't know whether it was from our committee or somewhere else, that the bucket system had been substantially eradicated. No, I'm saying, I'm saying we received a report in this House, and the impression was that the bucket system was being eradicated. But now what is happening is that it seems nothing has changed.
The bucket system is still being used as of now. And the hygiene in those cells is quite wanting. You can even stay in a cell for more than 12 hours without giving you an opportunity even to urinate. You literally urinate on the same floor on which you are sleeping and sitting. So the situation in these prisons is terrible.
I want to instruct the Committee on Defense and Internal Affairs to carry out an audit of the sanitary facilities in the places of detention. I don't know whether they'll be able to get the other difficult places, but at least go to the police stations and even in the prisons, carry out an audit of the facilities and give us a report. But in the meantime, the Minister of Internal Affairs should come and respond to the complaints and tell us what to do, but also the committee. Now that we're going to the budget, I think you should ask specifically for what provision has been made in this financial year.
650 of them, officers and their wives and their children. There is only one toilet. That is for the police barracks. Only one toilet and 2 shower areas. 2 shower areas for the ladies and 2 shower areas for the gentlemen. They have to queue up from 4 o'clock. Old Kampala Police Station itself has only one facility for the ladies. It accommodates over 300 people every day, including a minimum of about 50 ladies. So you can imagine. Ginger Road Police Station is just a stone throw from us. And now, if these are the urban police stations and they cannot have these facilities, then you can imagine what is in Arua.
It is right that the committee should go back, or the Committee of Internal Affairs can go back and find out why the process did not continue. But right, Honorable Speaker, by the time we tabled that report, the information was true, because we went around the country and did confirm indeed that the bucket system was being phased out.
These people who are so overcrowded, in a uniport you can find 2 families with the children, and when someone goes to work, the other one takes advantage of the wife of somebody, and they have been killing one another. They are misusing the guns because they are frustrated. And more than that, you find that the money they get is so small, so little, because they get about 350, but they will never ever think of building their own houses. So because of that, these people are misusing the guns that they have. They are killing us, they are killing one another because of frustration. So something must be done to make sure that these workers who are supposed to protect us are also protected.
Water is rationed. Around 3-4 p.m., it is disconnected, and there is nothing until the following morning. So whoever goes to toilet, everything remains on top until water comes back the following day, and it has to go. But the other thing, these facilities also don't provide inmates with toilet tissues. So one goes and comes back as he went, and you begin to talk.
My appeal to the House is, let us fast track the opt-cut. That is the optional protocol to the Convention on Torture. If we work on this opt-cut, we will be able to have a committee that will access all the detention centers, even without permission. Right now, as it is, we need to write permission to either the prisons commissioner to access these places. By the time you write, you're granted, they would have cleared and cleaned some of these things. So we will not get first-hand information even about some of the issues that are actually happening in our prisons, even in the police cells.
The problem is not just about the welfare of the inmates, even our police officers, and yet they are doing a great job. I go to the streets of Kampala, and then you'll find our officers are struggling to direct traffic, even at 1 a.m., even at 10 p.m. It is really something so critical that we look at the welfare of the entire force, from A to Z. We need that review report, and we see what was contained in.
2 months ago, I went to Gulu prison to check on one of my voters who was there, and the man is living positive life. They are not getting ARVs, and when you look at them, they are really terrible. Amidst all these situations we've talked about, consider a person who is sick. So they leave them without getting any treatment. Then when they are badly off is when they take them to the hospital just to go and die. So those ones who are supposed to be on ARVs, those ones who are having diabetes are really suffering more than what we expect.
What I think we need now is a serious call to action. We need to do some serious needs assessment, which should be reflected in the budget process, because we discuss these matters here and make recommendations that are not implemented. So if a serious needs assessment is done, we should appropriate for it to be done. It is not only these people who are in cells or prisoners, but even the servicemen themselves.
What happened to the chain link system that was put in place to decongest these places of detention? So I just thought I would give that information, that the Human Rights Commission reports need to be looked into. Then the facilities that are there, this committee has to go and see how much as these places have been of detention being stressed, because definitely they are overstressed.
I would like the committee to interest itself. Why has community service sentencing not taken root to help us to decongest? Because some of these issues in the prisons are really petty crimes that people are reminded about.